Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great day, and today we're going to be talking about my top 5 books of 2025. This year I read 45 books, which is a lot. Because in the past few years I have been reading like 30-ish books. I haven't been reading a lot. I was in a really big slump, but last year I was on fire. I really got my love for reading back and I was so excited, and so I read a lot of books. And so today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 plus one honorable mention. At number 5 I have A Touch of Chaos by Scarlett Sinclair. This is the 4th book in the Hades and Persephone series. I don't know if that's how you call it. I guess it is. The first book is called A Touch of Darkness. So this book is, well, not this book, but the whole series, if you don't know, is about the Greek gods, obviously, because it's about Hades and Persephone's story, but in the modern world. So they live in New Athens, which is a fictional place where gods have decided to live among the humans. So they have businesses, nightclubs, fancy hotels, whatever, because they're rich. And so we follow Persephone, who has been sheltered her whole life by her mom. So she doesn't have any powers. She hasn't been able to grow them properly. And at 18, her mother accepts that she goes to university to feel more like a person, not a human, because she's not a human technically, but she wants to create her own person. She wants to be more than what she is, because clearly she's not very good at being a demigod because she doesn't have any powers. In New Athens, she meets Hades, obviously, and they enter into a bargain together. And so that forces Persephone to spend more time with Hades, and you know the rest. This book, I don't know if it's the conclusion like the last book ever in this series, but it was a conclusion like of a big epic war that was going on with everybody. And so we have the final conclusion in this book, and it was amazing. I absolutely loved everything about it. We get to see Persephone's and Hades' point of views in this book. I think we don't in the beginning, but in this one we do, which was amazing. I really loved it. Every interaction, there were more side characters than in the first books, and I really loved it. And I don't know what to say without spoiling anything, so I'm not gonna say anything else, but I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. In 4th place, I have Flower Heart by Catherine Bakewell. This is a cozy fantasy book about a witch who is struggling to find her powers, and she makes a mistake and put thorns into her father's body. And so she has to find a quick solution to save him because he is dying from the inside. And so she has to team up with an unlikely ally, like another student that he and she didn't really like. It's not an enemies to lovers, but like they just weren't really fun classmates, I guess, in the past. And so she has to quickly learn to control her magic and to erase what she has done to her father. And it was kind of high stakes, but not like high stakes. So it was really interesting. I love the magic system in this book. I really love the main character. I forgot her name because it's been a while since I read that book, but I really loved her personality, everything that she was doing. You could tell what she wanted to do and what was her intention all along. And so it was really hard to be mad at her when she was making mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Especially in magic, it can be very difficult because making mistakes can be deadly. That was also a part of the story where how much do you want to make somebody learn magic knowing that there could be mistakes and deadly mistakes along the way. So that was a really interesting take on the magic and the magic system. So that was really nice. I give that book a 4 out of 5 stars. In 3rd place, I need to pick up my phone because that name is I'm not gonna be able to do it, okay guys? I'm telling you right now. In 3rd place, we have Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Probably not the right pronunciation, I'm really sorry. That first book in this series, I haven't read the other books, but that first book was so good. I absolutely love this book. This book, I think its genre is like magical realism, I think you would put it in, because there is magic, but it's in the real world. So I think it would be a magical realism book, but it's also just literary fiction, like basic, not basic, but I don't know how to explain it. So anyway. This book is about a magic coffee shop where you can go back in time to talk back to a person that you have seen in this coffee shop anywhere in the past of your life. That's a really, really interesting take. I have never seen such a book before. And so we follow 4 stories. We follow 3 customers and the owner. So we follow 3 stories of people who go back in time to talk to somebody that they have met in the past, but that they either don't talk to them anymore today, or they want to but can't really, or don't have the courage to. Each story was so heartbreaking. It was insane. I have never cried so much while listening to a book. It was really, really hard. I absolutely fell in love with the story, with the people in it. It was so damn hard, and I kept wondering all the time, if I had that power, what would I do with it? It was just a really, really wholesome yet sad story, and that was something. I really want to read the other books. I really hope to pick them up, maybe not this year because I don't own them, but maybe in a few years. In second place, we have Saga Volume 10, which is the second to last volume in this series. I don't know if they're keeping on writing it. There's a gray area where at some point they took a break, and I don't know if they're back from their break. I don't keep myself updated on these things, so I don't know. But I know there is an 11th book. I don't even know what to say about this because I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't read that series. It's such a good book. The story, the world building is insane in this story. You have so many options to make your story around. We do follow these 2 people. So we follow Alana, who is the mother of this girl, and the father. She is pregnant in the beginning of the book. So the baby is really a baby. And you continue the story. They're like star-crossed lovers. So their races are enemies, and they made a baby, and that's a problem. So they're being chased around the galaxy. And we also have side characters who are bounty hunters to kill them. So that's also interesting. So we do get a lot of different views from this world, from this problem that they create. Well, they didn't create a problem, but they made a baby, which is the people don't want. So that was really, really interesting. And this book was terrifying. Not terrifying. How do I put this? It was so heartbreaking. So it was really hard to read. I couldn't believe what I was reading, and I cannot wait to pick up the next novel because I really want answers to everything. So yeah. And finally, at number 1, we have A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. I'm sorry, again, I cannot do this. It has been such a long time since I have read a story about vampires, and I was so excited to read about this book because it really felt like magical realism, where the vampires were really a part of society. They were not there's the humans and there's the vampires and we're enemies and blah blah blah. They were really inside society, and people were living next to them, and people they didn't love them, but they could live around them and they were fine. So that was really interesting to have our main character make a tea shop for vampires. Well, it wasn't known that it was that, but it felt really wholesome, weirdly. I don't even know how to say that, but I really, really love the story. There's a side quest / heist in the book, which is I really, really loved, because you get to meet all the side characters that you see in the beginning and you don't really know where they're coming from, and then they all mix together, and it's really, really nice. I really love that. There is a huge twist in the book which I did not see coming at all, and I'm usually good at these kind of twists. It crossed my mind in the beginning of the book and then I completely forgot about it, so it was a real surprise when it happened in the end. And I cannot wait to pick up the second book, and I'm really thinking about buying the first because I loved it so much, but I will try to not do that. And lastly, we have an honorable mention for a book that I read last year that was really special to me, and it is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. So I don't read a lot of memoirs. I don't read them at all, actually. It's not something I really do. I'm not really interested in real life in general. I'm more excited into dragons and fairies and vampires. But people kept raving about this book, so I thought, well, let's give it a try, let's listen to this. And I also heard what it was about, so I was kind of curious to know what it was like. And that book, it devastated me completely. It was so hard to listen to. I listened to this as an audiobook and it was narrated by Jeanette, so that was really hard to listen to it. I'm not gonna lie, there were parts where my heart was completely broken. It was so sad to hear about everything that she's been through, but to know that she grew out of it and that she can not learn from it, but that she can acknowledge that this is something that happened to her and not let it shape herself and move on and be the best version that she can be, is so refreshing. Because she could have been such a bad person with everything that happened to her. It could have been her villain era and she would have been so right to do it. But I'm really glad that she didn't, and that she is the bigger person in all of that. She is releasing a new book like now, I think, and I really want to read it. I have no idea if it's a fictional book or not. I need to learn about that but I really want to read it because I really love her writing style also. I thought she wrote really well and it was funny and sad, and she was able to make nuances where you would be very sad, but she would bring it up in a different light, so it wouldn't be as deep or as harsh. And I thought it was really nice to do it. And sometimes she didn't do it and she gave it to you really harsh, and that's what the story needed. So I thought she was a really nice storyteller, and I really wanted to see her next book. So that was it, guys, for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Tell me in the comments what were your books of 2025, which one was your favorite. Maybe it's one that I still haven't read, most probably. So give me all the recommendations, I will take them gladly. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.